Hello, 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 hello. It is your boys, the DM podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. This episode is just a random episode. We're talking about a bunch of things about like free agency. We're gonna talk about the NBA draft. We're gonna talk about some of the. We already have a trade. We have a trade already. We're gonna talk about that as well. But before we continue, how is YS doing today?
You already know. Every day above ground. It's a good one.
Always, always. As long as we're up here, no complaints. No complaints as long as we're up
You
here.
already know.
So we're ready now. The NBA season's done. It's all gone. We don't have to think about any more games until September, October, some
Yep.
preseason games, whatever. Now we're going to have a bunch of random podcasts. So you should expect this summer to be talking about certain things that we like, or certain things we want to talk about. Do some redrafts of like I know we talked about before redraft. I think it was 1982. You wanted to redraft one of the drafts you wanted to kind of go back and look at it and redraft. So we'll do stuff like that this off season. And but NBA season, you think it's done and you think it's over, but it's never really over. We have the draft this week, and then you're gonna have, the couple days right after free agency. And a lot of guys are gonna be free, and we're gonna talk about one of them today in Paul George. But let's start from the beginning. JJ Redick is the Los Angeles Lakers head coach. YS, tell me your thoughts.
I don't hate it, right? But I don't love it. It's just, to me, it's just how I look at it, it's just Lakers need to find a coach. They hired JJ. I guess they feel he's the best for the spot, right? He kind of dissed old school players before, saying they were plumbers and whatnot. RIP Jerry West,
Right.
right? So I kind of feel like they waited till he passed to hire JJ, right? In a sense. But watching the NBA Finals this year with JJ, the analysis he was bringing alongside Doris Burke been in the game,
Right.
and he was keeping up with Doris Burke slash passing her at certain points and knowing when they're at certain points, right? So he's definitely wanting to learn the game, right? He definitely knows the game, but talking about the game and coaching the game are two different things, right? So we're gonna see how he does, but he has one of the better basketball minds out there on the panel that I see, right? So we're gonna see what that brings. He has a pod with LeBron, right?
Which is
So
done. You can't do that no more.
yeah, so they have a relationship, a good relationship. So I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's just it's a coach. He's getting hired. That's how I feel about it. I'm neutral about it. How do you feel, man? How do you feel about it?
You look at the history of the Lakers, they haven't had a head coach last like 4 seasons. They just haven't. The past like 8 coaches, not since Phil Jackson left, this I think it was the second or just Phil Jackson left at after the Kobe years, they just really haven't had a coach for a long time. They had D'Antoni for a little bit, then Mike Brown, then Luke Walton, then who won their other coach? Frank Vogel.
Vogel.
Then
Yeah.
they had Ham, and they just
That
go
was
through a
good.
lot of coaches, right?
Yeah.
So to me, you got JJ Redick. Honestly, it's a name. They're saying he could be the next Pat Riley type. That's how they're feeling with
Okay.
him.
It's kind of early to say that.
It is very early, and then I always say, and I've been saying it more recently. We'll talk about Monty like kind of right after this. I'd rather coach a young team than coach the Lakers.
100%.
I don't want to coach a team, not that it has high expectations. I don't want to coach a team that has the best player in the league. That's what I would want to do. I'm okay with coaching a team with high expectations. I don't want to coach a team with the best player in the world or like a top five player in the world. Not yet. Unless I'm building that top five player, like the OKC Thunder. Shea was not top five in the league
Not at
beginning of
all.
last year. Now he's top five, but at least you know what you're doing. He's listening to you. And yeah, people are gonna listen to JJ, but JJ's also like younger than LeBron, and it's just one of those things that like, is D'Angelo Russell gonna listen to JJ Redick? Is he gonna like say yes, coach? Oh, I got you, coach. I'm gonna follow whatever coach says. Do you see him doing that? I'm not too sure.
Personally, I don't really see Russell doing that, but the fact that if LeBron is going to be doing it, then the team's going to be doing it.
Right, right. It
So,
has to be LeBron first, right?
yeah.
LeBron has to be the first one who listens to what JJ is gonna have to say. But like even Anthony Davis, are you gonna tell Anthony Davis, "Hey, I need you to go to the block and ask for that ball more. I need you to be more aggressive." I'm not sure if that's gonna happen.
If LeBron, like I said, if LeBron does it, he'll do it. I kind of feel in the sense that if you are JJ Redick's age in this situation, if you were a lead player or the second guy on a team that won a championship or two, it'd be kind of a different story. They'd be, but since JJ don't have no rings and he wasn't that guy, he was a good quality player. Don't get it twisted,
Right,
right?
definitely.
But I feel like now with the media and everything, now it's like you need to have some accolades for guys to respect you,
You're
right?
gonna get some thick skin to be a
Yeah,
Lakers coach because
definitely,
when you're a
definitely.
Lakers coach, especially you're JJ Redick and LeBron's on this team, if LeBron looks mad one game, the first headline in ESPN or on Undisputed is LeBron already tired of JJ Redick? Like that's the first headline. Is LeBron? JJ Redick looks pissed off. Him and LeBron didn't shake hands. It's a story. It's a story in like 3 days. So I don't know. I it's such a LA thing to do. You do a
Yeah,
Hollywood thing. Like
yeah.
you pick a coach who doesn't really have a lot of experience. Doesn't have any experience. Has no coaching. Has like none.
And
Uh,
that's kind of weird, right? Because usually they'll get a guy that's been assistant or doing some sort of coaching, but has
it,
JD even
but
done
it
any
has
coaching?
happened before. Jay Kidd literally was playing next following year he was a coach, so it has happened. But he wasn't a good coach in the beginning. He
No,
became a better coach now,
he definitely,
right?
definitely,
Like I don't,
definitely.
I don't think JJ is going to be a bad coach, but maybe after he's gone from the Lakers, he'll be a better coach, but not now. He
Give
won't be
us
a good
some
coach.
time, right? That's all. It's just time.
And then you need to make sure you have like veteran assistant coaches, right?
That's a key. That's a big key
You're
because
gonna
you're
need
gonna need to
guys who
learn
can
from
do
them
it.
as well.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna need guys who can who have some pedigree, like you said, some history. This is where you bring like guys who've been coaches for 20 plus years around you to make you better. And I think that's why I think Steve Kerr did that. Jay Kidd did that. You just need to make sure you have quality guys around you. I think that's key.
I
Very
still don't think Jake. I mean, Kerr is a good coach, but that's another story.
yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of people think like he just inherited a good team. Like what X's and O's has he particularly done
But
to
yeah, I'm gonna
but I
say
think coaching
the
is now.
impressive. Yeah, yeah.
I think coaching nowadays is very like the X's and O's are the assistant coaches. The one in front is the leader who's helping and motivating you and like
Mhm.
making you
Yeah.
feel better. I don't think like that. I'll let the coaches do everything else. I think coaching has become just really coddling them in that sense, right? Like you have to make everyone feel better. But it's a hey, you got JJ Redick. You don't LeBron's not signed. You got to re-sign LeBron. Hopefully he stays. Hopefully he doesn't stay. But if you are a player, you know that your coach and the best player on the team have a existing relationship and have a podcast. How comfortable are you? You're not that
I
comfortable.
ain't. I ain't.
You would kind of want to leave. If you're D'Angelo Russell, who has a player option, you may exercise that player option.
D'Angelo Russell is that player though in the league that be getting passed. So he's used to getting passed. Pause. So yeah,
I'm not sure if he wants to even he would have to see the market if the market dictates it. But I don't think he may have to resign because I don't know if you are not signing, then you need to sign like a 3 year contract because you're about to be like paid under. I would say.
Mhm.
I don't think you're gonna get paid a lot in the future. But yeah, shout out to JJ Redick. You got your coaching role. This is your time to prove it. The way this is where it's kind of like you be on those podcasts, kind of talking shit about everybody else. It's put up or shut up time. You can't be
Straight
talking
up,
shit about everyone else, and
straight up,
it's your turn now. It's your
straight
turn.
up.
So we'll have to wait and see. But it's LA, so of course they're going to be in the news. The next coaching news was the Detroit Pistons let go of Monty. We already talk about that one? That was this week, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was
I
this week.
felt we spoke about it because it was just a year he coached.
Yeah, we talked about it
He
on
didn't get an
on the side.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? Monty Williams gone from Detroit. They did lose like 28, 29 games. So
The thing is, Monty Williams didn't really get an opportunity in Detroit, I feel, right? It was one and done, right? There was some injuries, but like I don't like it's this the Pistons. Like you need I think they're just looking at like, okay, he messed up with Phoenix, so we're not even gonna let him be around that long to mess up here, sort of thing. I think the Phoenix taste is in the Pistons' mouth. Pause.
yeah.
Right. So that's how I feel about that. What about you?
So you're right. They didn't give him an opportunity. I heard it was like a late minute decision from the owner
Wow.
who decided this. Um, there's a bunch of rumors why he decided it. Someone tried to mention it was religion, kind of like the Mark Jackson situation. So it was like, oh, maybe he was too religious, but that's a weird take to have. So let's I don't want to believe that at all. Um, the thing is, you know what I'm thinking about? Think about Cade. You have Cade Cunningham, who we would both say is a really good player,
Very
a guy that we would want to build our franchise around.
100.
And he's gonna have his third or fourth coach now, and he's only been in the league for 5 years.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah,
I
he's
think it's
only
four.
because yeah, Scotty's going into his fifth, so is he.
It's been four, right? Yeah, I
Yeah, so
think
it's four before, and then he had Dwayne Casey. See, they had someone else, and then because after Dwayne Casey was Monty Williams. Let me quickly even check, but I'm pretty sure they had I know they're doing Casey, but I think
so
Dwayne Casey
that's
was
there's your star player that's not really developing, no consistent coach or coaching staff, right? Pistons are a joke right now.
they are a joke. So Cade got they had Stan Van Gundy, and then they had so then Cade never had him. He had Dwayne Casey and Monty Williams. So it's gonna be his third coach in 5 years, which is a lot, man. I'm sorry, a young player shouldn't be going through all this coaching changes. They just shouldn't. They need consistency. They need someone to know that they're there. There's a bunch of players that go through multiple coaches and they don't develop, right? They won't develop. Charlotte has gone through a few coaches. No one's developing in Charlotte,
Yeah,
right? So
LaMelo could be better. He's nice, but shit.
legit. So like to me, yeah, I feel bad for Kate. I feel bad for Jalen Duran, who's like still super young. Killian Hayes, you guys gave up on, so he's not on the team anymore. Um, you give up on a lot of guys. Like to me, like
Who's on the squad again? Was Bagley over there?
Bagley's there. Who he kind of ended the season okay, but he still you brought in Bagley to what develop him, right? Like this team is a bunch of guys. You have Jaden Ivey, who I can
Ivy
say
can
Monty
ball.
Williams did not do well by Jaden Ivey because he wouldn't play him.
That's the problem with Monty Williams, though. He only plays starters.
Yeah,
Doing
yeah,
that in Phoenix, crazy.
yeah. He
So
he likes playing vets. Some coaches like playing vets. Like Thibodeau likes playing vets. Like, uh,
Tibbs is like that, yeah. He runs into the ground.
yeah. Some coaches because they're not thinking coaching and training and development. Like Dwayne Casey, the one thing that guy was good at was developing. Right, he was trying to develop kid and all that stuff. But I think eventually they wanted to win. I don't see a path to Detroit winning. Not anytime soon.
No, I'm gonna say like 5 years.
It could be the case, right? Because like unless Cade has to have a darn MVP season, but then you're asking for too much.
Cade having an MVP season is like 26, 7-7.
Right. Right.
And the Pistons are 500.
And then he would have to have a second person. Mind you, they have money, they have cap space. They have like the most cap space in the league.
Who wants to go to play at Auburn Hills, the Palace Auburn Hills, or they changed the name obviously by now, but that's what I noticed.
I just know
Ooh,
that I think they're getting Tobias Harris back. Yes, I think he's going there. Mind you, he's going to
Tobias
Detroit,
Harris over me?
and he's going there with a nice contract.
Well, clearly Tobias cares about bread, not getting better or advancing playoffs, because he's been the same player since of the Magic. Like, really, like a third, fourth option will
Yeah,
disappear at times. If he's going, he's going. And
yeah. He'll probably get like a 3 year, probably 100 mil. He'll get.
oh Lord, 100 million
Yeah,
for
because
three
you
for
have to use the
Tobias
money.
Harris?
You have to use the money.
Tobias Harris?
Yeah, you have to use the money. You have to use it. But the thing is, Detroit's going to think of their future because eventually, you have to pay Cade, which I think his contract extension is this
I'm
year.
paying Cade. Don't get to yeah,
Yeah,
we're
so
paying Cade.
because Barnes's extension is this year, so he'll get the extension. So Ivy's extension is the following year, but I'm not sure if you want to pay Ivy. You're not paying him a max rookie contract. You're just not. He's not. He's like he didn't show you.
Well, Ivy is not getting a max. You're keeping Cade. You're giving Cade the max.
You definitely giving Kate that max.
And a 3 year deal to Tobias. So your big three is
Like, who do you have a big free? Because like you know it's Cade, and you want to improve Jalen Duran, who I think is a 2010 guy every day because he's
yeah.
stronger than most people, and he's only 20. Isaiah Stewart, Big Stu, is also a
I
younger.
like Big Stu. I like Big Stu.
Like he's good. So this is the thing with having young teams.
I feel like they're just missing a couple of more veterans, like some
They're definitely
veterans.
missing some vets, but yeah, I think for them to, get into that, like Orlando already like lapsed you, and Paulo was a year before you. I mean, was a year after you. Paulo's leading the team a year after, and you guys in. It's because that team is just as young. Orlando and Detroit are probably just as young in age.
Yeah. I feel like
Right,
maybe Orlando could be younger.
right,
I feel like
right.
yeah, they're younger.
So to me, clearly, it's
All
drafting.
those guys came in the league like last year, 2 years ago.
Detroit or Orlando.
Orlando.
Yeah, they're still.
Like to be honest, yeah, they got yeah.
Let me see. Let's see where they
Was
are,
one of their older guys on the squad, Cole Anthony, and he's in what his fifth season.
and probably Mo Wagner.
Oh yeah, Mo Wagner, yeah, and they're like in their sixth season, maybe those are the old guys, right? Anthony Black is a rookie, right?
Right,
So
youngest teams in
well,
the.
Isaac maybe is the older guy there too, Jonathan Isaac, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's still young, even though he gets injured a lot.
Yeah, he's always in street clothes still, but
I'm gonna go youngest team in the league, and I don't know why they're showing me Boston because Boston is definitely not no young team.
Suggs is young too. Like, who else on the spot? Fultz. Fultz is probably his fifth year too.
Yeah, he is. He is. It says youngest based off games played, youngest average age per game of NBA teams in Eastern Conference. Hornets, then Raptors. I'm surprised. Magic have the least amount of games played. Detroit has more games overall played in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, there's just some teams that are super young. So then, to me, Detroit, you're screwing yourself up. Like we almost just went on. See, you lose Monty Williams, who could have brought you stability, and now you don't have it again. You don't have stability again. Like that's just to me, yeah, you're sus for that. I don't know what to tell you. I don't tell you. You shouldn't be like that at all. Okay, now we'll move on to, because Detroit's future is bleak. They have a top five pick. You try to tank again to me and see if you can get like another. I don't know. You have to do something. What are you doing before we end it? What are you doing if you're Detroit? You already fired your coach. So what type of coach are you looking for, and what do you want to do going forward?
Looking for a defensive minded coach, first and foremost, still. You know what I mean? And I'm looking for a coach that doesn't have a name. That's not a big name coach or whatever with expectation. When I'm looking for a guy that's here to prove himself, to be honest, that's defensive minded. You know what I mean? So that's the direction I'm leading still. Because the Pistons need discipline. Am I tanking? It's gonna work out that we're gonna tank because we're ass. So we're gonna do our best, but we're ass. So we're gonna lose at least. We're gonna win at least max 28 games. Max we're gonna win, right? So That's enough for top five pick again in the draft next year. That's definitely better. Like this year, don't be disappointed.
Yeah,
Right, next year you should get guys be in the top five again. But it's all about the coach, the mentality of the coach, the culture he's going to bring to the team. You know what I mean? Because you have players that are decent already.
right.
You just need a free agency, whatever. You need to get a couple veterans, sign some veterans. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, and go from there. Right, with the defense minded coach. And I feel like these guys, the Pistons, can turn shit around sooner than later.
I think you're correct because Orlando's like was a top three defensive team in the league this year, and they could have beat the Cleveland Cavaliers just based off their defense. And you're right because if you're a young team that's playing defense, you're younger, so you have way more energy than everybody else to play defense because all effort when it comes down to defense.
Yep,
If,
yep.
if you build that defensive mentality, it makes it much easier to care to win games because offensively, everyone wants to score, everyone wants to shoot. You'll give everyone the opportunity to do that. And that's what Orlando did. When I actually found out, Orlando's actually younger than Detroit. Orlando's younger. And look at it, they played defense, they're a top six team in the East. So it's
Magic, yeah,
possible. So I
yeah.
think you're correct. Find a defensive minded coach that is that's hungry to win with you guys, but I feel bad for definitely for a Kid Cunningham. Next thing, I forgot to write this, but we'll talk about Malik Monk. You know,
Mhm.
Pascal. We all knew Pascal's didn't get his deal. There's no point of really chatting about Pascal's deal. It's a max contract. No matter what, he's gonna get paid the max. It is what it is. Because he had to get paid the max. If you think about it, he had to get paid the max. He, you didn't bring him there to not get the max. But Malik Monk is signing for. Let me even clarify. I think it's a 4 year, 70 mil.
Malik Monk, huh?
Yeah,
True.
I think it's a 4 year. Let me. Yeah, 4 year, 78 mil,
True.
which is like a steal because everyone thought that he was getting get the bag this year.
The hundred, yeah.
Yeah,
The
everyone
hundred,
thought
yeah.
it. Everyone thought he was getting the bag this year.
I guess he wants to stay in Sacktown.
He does. He does. They need him. They like him. They probably are like, hey man, we fuck with you. We don't we you know that you're our like third man.
Really and truly, yeah.
Like you have the role, but I think a lot of people wanted him on like an Orlando, like we talked about. I know the Raptors were looking at him. Like people were looking at him. So
Yo,
yeah,
him on the Magic would be scary.
he just this I'm not comparing it, but you will know what I mean because we have that old school mindset sometimes. It's almost like having like a Allen Iverson on your squad who can just get a bucket at any time. And you put a bunch of people around him who could just play defense. And we just said Orlando top three, top five defense, and Monk can't play defense. But if you just have that guy who can get you that bucket and
Yeah,
go toe for toe, bucket for bucket with like
yeah,
a Donovan Mitchell, it's not
yeah.
bad. It's not bad, especially for a team like Orlando. But like you said, he clearly wanted to stay in Sacramento,
100, huh?
right?
You could
Can't
have got
blame
the
him.
100 bag easy. Like,
What this also does, it sets the market for shooting guards pretty much. We'll talk about the Raptors eventually, and well, I think I may have a Raptors section today, but we'll see. That Gary Trent Jr. contract is about to look extra better for the Raptors
100%.
because if you're doing a comparison, he's not getting. You don't want to pay Gary this money. Malik Monk's getting 4 years, 78 mil. Gary, you were just getting that. So we could give you the same deal. We'll give you a 4 year, 78 mil. Or we'll give you a 3 year, or we'll give you a 4 year, 60 mil, which is about 15 mil a year. So you're getting a reduction, but like at the end of the day, you're technically now our fourth guy. We need to score, and we still got to develop, Grady. We have
Definitely develop Grady.
Uche, Bradley. We still have other guys. Thing is, the man is still very young. He's still very young. Like Gary Trent is, I think, if I have to think about it out loud, him and RJ Barrett are probably the same age.
Yeah, I think what Gary Trent's maybe 27 or something.
No, Gary Trent's still young, like 23,
Oh shoot,
like
like that, huh?
24 at most. Gary Trent Jr. He
These
is,
guys feel like they've been in the league 6 years,
he's
but I'm
25.
really at 19.
So he's 25, and then Emmanuel quickly. I'm pretty sure darn near the same age, 25. So both guys are same age,
This guy's been in the league too. Everyone's coming at 19, so yeah,
right? So
that's
they're young still, right?
yeah,
But the thing is, they're both kind of getting to their peak age,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we all know they're all getting to their peak age. So it's a good thing. But that Malik Monk contract is basically telling us what everyone's about to get paid because me and you talked about what we would pay Gary before. I think we both agreed like maybe a 4 year, like close to 80 mil sounded good.
Sound yeah, yeah.
Monk was getting that. Now you're on the table. How much do you give him Malik? What would you do? I mean, what would you give to Gary Trent? Sorry.
Me for Trent, 4 years. I'm giving him like a 70.
So just a little bit less than Malik,
I'm giving him a 70. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
which
a
is not bad.
60 for 4 years would be like it's not bad, but it's not great. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we want you to play hard, so we're gonna give you that 70.
Right.
Give you that 70 still.
And we don't want you to think that we're like lowballing you
Mm-mm.
because you'll get cheesed.
And
So
then
we'll
you'll
probably give you
request
that
a
same.
trade mid-season and then be salty and it's just bad press
Oh yeah, that's true.
and then once you have to force a trade, it's never that ends well, right? Like
Yeah,
VC, right?
you're
Going
right.
back. So
You're right. You know who also sets the market? KCP.
for the twos, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because people are gonna want to pay him. People will throw a bag at him because they're like, you're just too valuable.
Yeah, they're gonna throw back case because he has rings.
Yeah,
Keyword rings.
yeah.
So that like Malik Monk, you're gonna like you know what I mean? Like Malik Monk can ball. Arguably, like on the squad, who would you rather, Malik Monk or KCP? Arguably, who'd you rather?
I think I rather KCP. I know that sounds great. Yeah, I rather KCP. He's a winning player.
Exactly, and I say the same thing. But who is gonna bring more fans and bring more scoring?
Easily Malik Monk. Easily.
Exactly, right? So
It all
that's what we
depends on the
kind
type
of
of
got to
squad you have. Like if you're in Sacramento, you probably rather a Malik Monk because you need Malik Monk scoring.
definitely.
But once again, if you're like Denver, you don't need Malik Monk.
Mm.
Like you don't. If you're the Lakers,
Actually, if you're at Denver, you could use them on the bench because their bench
oh
is
yeah, you're right. You're right.
that's what
You're
the
right. If you could have them. I didn't write this in our notes, but I read that like Derek White is eligible for like a 4 year, $120 million contract. I like Derek White, and he's done a lot, but chill.
Derek White 120 for four
Yeah,
years.
he can get like a bag because they won a title, and now he's eligible for like more money, so he can re-sign for a crazy amount.
Nah, like nah. 124 years for Derek White, hell no. Like nah. And I like DW, but
Yeah, his contract extension. It's
they
like
just print money for the NBA players now, huh?
yeah, so yeah, 4 year, 127 mil is that they can extend him for, which I think they will because they're gonna be a second apron team. They don't care. They want a title.
It's true. So if guys are on a payroll and they're winning still, it's like
Because Jason Tatum's about to get extended, like I think a 4 or 5 year, like 300 million dollar contract,
you got 300 for Brown,
and then another
300 for Tatum, and then you're gonna have Drew is already in the 100.
yeah, because Drew, you already signed into a 4 year contract extension.
DW is gonna be getting 120, so your payroll is gonna be close to a billion.
Crazy, crazy amount, crazy, right? But hey, you win titles, okay. Who wants the money?
The moment they are not winning like that, they start winning 60 games, goes to 55,
Oh
then
yeah,
goes
yeah,
down to 47, 45. It's like, hey, and you still kind of got the same payroll, huh?
yeah. Look at Golden State. Look at Golden State. You know Clay wants that money, but you're kind of like, ah. I love you, Clay, but I
We
have to
love you,
eventually
Clay,
pay.
but this is not Clay of 8 years ago.
Right. And like I got Kaminga that I gotta eventually pay. And I don't know how much I don't want to cause no rift with him. Wiggins
Definitely.
right now, way too much money to. Draymond, his
Kaminga is definitely going to be Clay a better overall player than you in the league. I
right.
don't want to hate on you, Clay. But the thing is, he is, but is he going to be a Hall of Fame player like Clay? I see Kaminga being better than Clay, but he's going to be a Hall of Fame player like Clay,
That's
right?
a crazy way of thinking it. That's pretty like because you're right. Because you can be better, like you can be better than him because
Hmm.
your game can be better. But Clay's a Hall of Famer, potentially like first ballot, no
Definitely.
question.
Yeah,
Are Kaminga stealing a first ballot Hall of Famer? It would have to be shown now. We don't really see the flashes.
we don't because it's opportunity too.
There's opportunity as well. But like the way if I was the Warriors, I'm telling you next season, it goes Steph Curry, the number one option, Kaminga's the number two option, right? And then everyone else can fall in line. But I need Kaminga to be the person. Like Kaminga needs to eventually be my number one option because Steph has to decline
He
and
definitely, yeah,
and
yeah.
then be I but Steph on the court is the scariest person on the court.
He needs to be really that Stockton type of player eventually. Like really
Eventually,
like
right?
I'm trying to get 12 assists and just get guys developing sort of thing.
Right. Or even like a Ray Allen type,
Yeah. Or that.
right? Just kind of stay and you're always gonna have to guard him. There's no way that's why Steph can be in the league for like 6, 7 more years. His
E-
game just is not
Easily.
physical. It's shooting. So and that will never go. So that's something that we can definitely see. So what going back to Malik Monk, shout out to Malik. You got your contract. Shouts out to you. You've set the market, which I'm very appreciative of. Maybe the Gary Trent contract will be a little different. Next thing, Alex Caruso
She's the Carew show.
got traded for Josh Giddey. Now, I'll give my initial take. I was like, okay, cool. Like, well, I'm like 1 for 1. Wait, no draft picks? Chicago, you didn't get no draft picks? People were throwing draft picks at you for Caruso last season. 3 draft picks, 4 draft picks. They were throwing it at you. You didn't get no draft picks for Josh Giddey, who's an up and down player right now. But I do see maybe he could be that Tyrese Halliburton type trade. That Tyrese got into a new team,
Yes.
developed. You never know. Jalen Brunson. Those things do happen. So I'm not writing off Josh Giddey at all. But I'm
No.
getting a draft pick if I'm trading Alex Caruso.
Yeah, that's me too. I want to get a draft pick if I'm trading Caruso. You know what I mean? But the 1 for 1, I feel like it's gonna work out, right? It should work out, right? I just hope Lonzo, wherever you are, when are you coming back?
I don't think he. I think there's already a report that they're going to buy him out. Yeah, because he won't play this season. Even there's videos of him dunking. I don't think he's gonna play this season. I think legit is next season. Which, mind you, the man is gonna sign for a veteran minimum next year, most likely because this is last year of his contract, and he
Yeah,
only played like 30 games or something like that. So this is his last time. Like he's gonna get a vet minimum next year because a team will try to bring him on to see what he
yeah,
right? Maybe be a backup point guard, and he's still and things he's a really good defender. Like Lonzo's a really good defender.
yeah.
He doesn't have that. I don't know what to tell you. So that one will may happen, but it's gonna be that Josh Giddey and Kobe White show.
I know, and it should be the Lonzo, but yeah, like I don't love it, but I don't hate it. You know what I mean? I need to see how this. I don't know. Like I see, obviously Caruso fitting more in OKC,
Oh, he's
right?
gonna fit. He's gonna fit well,
Right,
very well.
right. Caruso. I mean, Giddy Bulls. I need to see how this is gonna work because Bulls, they need to make moves with Vukovic, right? They need to make some changes with Zach LaVine because we've been hearing, you know what I mean? What's going on with the Bulls? And then they make this trade. It's like I don't really get it, but okay. You know what
I
I mean?
heard like they have 14 offers for Zach LaVine, but I feel like is it people
14.
calling Chicago or Chicago calling them for Zach? I think Chicago calling them. I'm gonna keep it 100.
Maybe it's both. Maybe like they
It
got
could be
some
both,
offers, but
right?
these guys are calling too.
But if I'm trading Zach LaVine respectfully, like if I'm trading for Zach LaVine, it depends the type of team I have, and like I may not want him. I heard Sacramento's interested, and there'll be a lot of offense with like you'll hit Zach LaVine, Sabonis, everyone else. I wouldn't mind a Zach LaVine on an Indiana. Like I
That's
wouldn't
all.
mind that
That's all
because
right. So
because the way they play, it wouldn't be mind having an additional bucket getter.
they
Um,
got a lot of guys that can score, and like Indiana, watching these guys play is like every man can score more or less.
right. So like a stuff like that, and then of course a Detroit can be like, "Wilson, we have the cap space. We can take on his contract and like give you barely anything.
Detroit. What about the Rockets? Do they have the cap space?
They can make the cap space, like, but I think Chicago is gonna overvalue Zach LaVine if Houston calls, and they'll be like, "We'll
Uh,
give us Jalen Green
yeah, yeah, that works. Jalen Green and a pick.
for Zach LaVine." You're doing it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm Rockets. Yeah, yeah.
That means you don't think highly of Jalen Green then.
Jalen Green is he's good, but Zach LaVine's better. I don't know. Jalen Green, I don't know. He's not really developing as I thought he would.
He had some very he finished the season very well.
He
Very
did, he
well
did,
finished the
he
season.
did. But I thought he had more consistent shot by now. More of a consistent shot.
I,
Right.
I would say this: if you're trading Zach LaVine for Jalen Green, to me, the ceiling of Jalen Green is Zach LaVine anyway. Like I don't see the ceiling of Jalen Green being this like 7-time All Star, and I could be definitely wrong, but I don't see it. You know how I've always felt about Jalen Green. I
Yeah.
feel like he's Jordan Clarkson. I don't see much difference.
Jordan Clarkson is nice. I like
Yeah, yeah,
Jordan
and that
Clarkson.
like both brands are nice, but I don't see this
Jalen Green for
star.
All Stars. Like, I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear
I
you.
don't see this big All Star. Now OKC, right? They're getting Alex Caruso, who you and I both know is one of the best defensive players in the league. There's a stopper. Who's another great defensive player of the year in the league? Dort, who was a top five or probably I think he led the league, but I don't want to misquote myself, but led the league in steals this season. Shea. So you have a very we were just talking about Drew Holiday and Derek White being one of the some of the best like guards defending someone. OKC just got two guys who can guard like anybody. Caruso can guard anybody. Dort can guard anyone. That's a solid lineup. Like Caruso is the type of size that you would want guarding Luca or to guard Luca.
Thing is, right now, OKC is looking, can't lie. Caruso's going to bring that energy. He's going to be the first to the ball like DW. He is
Right.
basically like a DW on OKC,
Yeah, yeah.
but
And
with not a
he's
good,
performing
not
better.
as good of a jump shot, but still capable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah. Literally it's Jason Tatum and Shea. Uh, J, you can say J Dub and Jalen Brown. Similar. So you have your two offensive guys. Then you have Derek White as your Caruso. You have Drew Holiday as your Door, and you have
yep,
freaking Porzingis as your Chet Holmgren. Like you,
yep.
you almost have the
It's
ball.
just lower end Boston players in a sense.
Right.
Not this, right? But it's just lower end, but they haven't reached their ceiling, right?
That's the
Just those
crazy.
guys in Boston are older that you called, right?
Right. Right.
Right. So Caruso may reach the ceiling, but that's okay. That's okay if you reach the ceiling, Caruso, because that ceiling is amazing. You know
Yeah,
what I
you're a
mean?
good defender. We don't need you. And he hits some nice quality clutch shots. He's a really good corner 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Dort has gone better with his 3-point shot. And you trade him for Josh Giddey, who respectfully, y'all didn't fuck with that guy.
Y'all did not fuck with him. He was just looking like a deer outside, like not a deer, a doe, a young baby doe, just looking around, just like he's looking around to shoot the ball at times. He doesn't look confident on the squad.
He's
Anyway,
consistent.
the first year he was looking like okay,
Yeah.
like this all utility guy. But as time went on, it was like
And
I
like,
don't know if you're that comfortable here. At
and
least
you OKC you win because you didn't trade any of your flipping 30 draft picks.
that's crazy, right? Yeah.
You have a bunch of draft picks and you traded none of them to get Alex Caruso, which teams with no draft picks were trading for the guy with like they're trading all of it for this guy. You
Telling you,
traded none.
telling you.
So I think they're gonna make a deal, man. I if the Nets don't take Claxton, they're gunning for Claxton. Right? They'll gun for Claxton. Or I heard that the Knicks are but they want to sign Isaiah Hartenstein really bad. So they may trade Mitchell Robinson to like imagine if he went to an OKC.
Oh shit.
And then that means Caruso probably coming off the bench because we and I both know like Chet is good, but Chet should be a power forward. He's not a center.
He's not center. Yeah, yeah.
He's a power forward. So you want to have that. So all OKC needs is a center now because your bench is still young, talented, and you have Case and Wallace who comes off the bench. Like I'm thinking this is crazy. If you have a Dort and Shea starting, Shea's a pretty good defender for his size and everything. Then your bench could be Caruso and Case and Wallace, and Case and Wallace is a menace. Is a menace as a bench.
They're gonna have a deep team. They have a deep team already.
You still have Isaiah Joe. You have Aaron Wiggins.
And all those guys hit threes, which is crazy. You can all put them on your ticket to make a 3 or 2, and they're hitting. It's crazy.
And you have draft picks. Like you have like a top you have a top 12 draft pick this season.
There's been 2 champions. It's OKC and Celtics.
Yeah, like legit.
Literally.
You got Caruso for nothing. I'm sorry, respectfully for nothing. Because Giddy never finished games. He never finished games. So you got him for
You guys
nothing.
benched Giddy, and then you guys traded him 1 for 1.
Like that's crazy. That's
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, OKC is and all you need is a big. Like you just need a big.
Mhm.
Get a
And
big.
like you said, they got draft picks, so guess what? They could just be drafting bigs.
That's crazy. Like they can. He's not gonna fall, but they can basically trade this year draft pick and maybe like a two more draft picks. Go up to get the UConn guy. The UConn I will say his name.
Killing him or something.
Uh, well, I forgot his name already, but he is,
He's all right. He's kind of agile. He's all right though. He's shaky with the jumper.
and
He's
but
shaky.
he won't like he projects to be. I even could do a quick Donovan. Yeah, Klingen. Yeah, you're correct. He's 7'2". He's like Roy. They say Roy Hibbert, which is not bad because Roy
It's not
Hibbert
bad.
was a
It's,
was a
it's,
guy last time. He was a guy before they changed the rules. He was
yeah,
a
yeah.
guy. So imagine that. Like you get him. He's still young. That means like and everyone's still young. Shea's your oldest guy. Shea and Dort are your 2 oldest guys. Everyone's young as shit. Like J Dub's a little bit older because he came a little later, but still, Chet is fucking 20. Like this team is good, man. This is
Mm-hmm,
good.
mm-hmm.
Someone compared the getting Caruso to when the Warriors got Iguodala. When the Warriors were coming up, and then they got
That
Iguodala to
was
add.
scary. When the Warriors got Iggy, it was like, damn. It was just like defense, defense, defense. It was like their rotations were immaculate. Those
That,
days when Warriors had the death lineup on, damn,
yeah.
they're
Oh,
moving
and the
without
one
the
thing,
ball, and
yeah, the one thing I want to say as well, I said this a few podcasts ago, and I just want to reiterate it. Look at the Boston Celtics. The 2 guys who've been here from day one is Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But just remember, you had Rozier, he was gone. You had Avery Badley, he's gone, and Marcus Smart, all of them gone. The team that wins the title for you is never the team that you're rooting for right now. So just know that all the players you guys have right now, just know a lot of them are getting traded to win that title.
it's true.
It just normally happens. Golden State Warriors are the very few team that like you don't lose all your guys. And you eventually did. You lost Harrison Barnes. You did lose him, right? But you were also lucky that Steph Curry's injury was bad that he didn't get a good contract. Because you would have never got KD. Let's always remember that. You would have never got KD that time if Steph got a max rookie deal, but he never did. But just overall, Like your team never stays. It's very rare that your team stays.
It's
Very
so
rare.
true.
Very rare.
So
You,
true.
you
Any
think of
dynasty team, you look at the team before that you're rooting for, like let's say if you look at the last dynasty team, let's go to the Lakers,
right.
the Millennium Lakers, right? And before, when Kobe was there with Shaq, there was what Eldon Campbell as the backup, right?
Right.
There
Right.
was Eddie Jones, right? Eddie
Rice.
Jones was the guy that were rooting Glenn, right? Yep. And
And
those guys
you're
got
thinking
rooting
Rice
for.
and Jones, like you said, were gonna be the ones. You didn't they can lie all they want. They did not think Kobe was gonna be like this.
Hell no, hell no, hell no, right?
No.
So
So and then the Spurs, yeah, see, they kept the three guys, but they still built around them. That first two
it was
titles
different.
didn't have a guy named Kawhi Leonard or Danny Green. They didn't have those guys,
No,
right? You trade a lot. Raptors. You traded multiple guys. You traded JV, you traded Yacht, you traded DeLon Wright, senior
DeRozan,
DeRozan, like you trade all these mans.
and
So
we were rooting for DeRozan. That was part of that squad. DeRozan, JV. We were rooting for those. We were rooting for those guys.
right. So all I'm saying, OKC just know to probably make it to the through the hump that Shea, Chet, and J Dub, just be willing to potentially lose one of them to make it over the hump.
And it's not gonna be Shea or Chet.
Yeah, I think J Dub's the easiest one to yeah, I agree. It's crazy. Colin Coward, he made a trade to trade. It was J Dub, someone else, and 3 or 4 draft picks for guess who? Anthony Davis. And people in the comments are like, "Oh, that's a bad trade." Da, da, da. That's the trade I said. That's the guy you should go for. Go for Anthony Davis because
AD.
Anthony Davis
But
has a
that's a lot to give up, but it's AD. You have picks as OKC, so it's like you're giving up a lot, but there's more coming in.
and you're getting AD to not be the second. Like if I get AD, I don't want AD the second best player on the team. I don't want that AD. I want AD. You get it where you fit in, but I need that defense. I got offense. I got offense. I got Shea.
So you want AD. AD is gonna be the number one guy on your team, period. The superstar AD in Pelicans, even though he's gonna be, I want to say 32, 33.
But I don't want that AD.
You don't want that AD. You just want a crazy defender.
That's all I
AD.
want. All I want is that.
The scoring, if you get yours, you get yours. But if you get us 3 blocks a game and you get 10 boards,
That's all I need. I want
okay.
Tyson Chandler. Like I want Tyson Chandler.
You
Tyson,
want AD, but a Tyson Chandler, that's crazy.
right.
If you want AD, but your role is a Tyson Chandler, that's crazy. I'm just gonna set screens, roll to the rim, rebound, play defense.
Come on. You're still a threat for lob. You're still an offensive player. Because everyone's still gonna think you are. And then I can have Chet there.
No, he is not things. He is offense, but he's capable of 30 and 15.
So imagine a lineup. Let's just say Shea, Dort. I have to go Shea
Defense, okay.
and then Caruso,
Defense,
Chet,
getting there.
and then Anthony Davis.
Defense. So you potentially have 2 guys that made all defensive team
Come on.
in your starting lineup.
And you have Caruso and Dort to guard. That's your wing defenders.
Caruso could make defensive third team in OKC because he's going to get exposure and he's going to be in the playoffs.
Right.
So you have 3 players, all defensive team.
Right.
More or less.
Right.
And you have the leading scorer of last season.
Come on. And you still have a good bench.
Your bench, you can go 5 up, 5 down. Let's keep it a buck. That's the only team. There's 2 teams that can go 5 up, 5 down, and I'm comfortable with. Like, this is NHL. OKC and Indiana Pacers.
Come on.
Period. No other teams are that deep. I want to say Clippers, but nah. Clippers they're smoke show. They're smoke show.
I've always liked the Anthony Davis to OKC trade. Always. There's something about it I think can, especially if you're not getting scoring version of Anthony Davis, but you can score if you want to. You know what? I need 25 tonight. You give me 25, but I still got
He's
Chet.
going to score by default. He's going to score because it's AD. He's going to score by default.
Like, because you can't leave him alone. That's why Steph Curry, we just talked about it. He's gonna be good for the rest of his career because
Yeah.
you're always gonna be afraid of him shooting
Yeah.
threes.
Del Curry was moving very slow when he was on the Raptors, and he was still getting shots off, still managed
Mhm.
jumping over scores table to try to block the shot.
I'm telling you, that's what I would do. Easily, that's what I do. I trade AD, and if you're the Lakers, you're getting Jalen Williams to be like your face of the Lakers. He's young, he's talented. Do what you got to do, right?
Of course, he's
He'll
talented.
be
Yeah,
something. And Chet is he's skinny, right? But if
we don't got
he
to worry about the Lakers. They have the name. They're gonna attract guys, whether they're good, middle, or trash. They're gonna attract players. So it's the Lakers.
I don't know. I really like that trade. Okay, so let's go to we still have our main event, which see we have two things that we'll talk about. Well, first we'll do free agency talk of Paul George. Okay, I wanted to name five teams that you believe would be some of the best places for him, but I'm gonna do a little differently. I'm gonna name a couple teams that you just go on a scale of. I'll name five teams because the rumors. A scale of one. You want to go 1 to 5, 1 to 10? What do you want to do?
To 10.
Let's go 1 to 10. 10 being a great fit, and then one being
Trash player.
he shouldn't even look at this team. Okay, this is for Paul George. We're only gonna do Paul George. We'll probably get to other ones. We'll do like a free agency pod like next week, because free agency is like July 1st, so we can do it then. So we'll go first. The Clippers. Scale of 1 to 10. How much should Paul George basically stay with the Clippers?
I'm gonna say 45.
4 to 5 out of 10.
4.5 out of 10.
That's low. So
I
you really
feel
don't
like
think he should stay?
he's like he's trying to hold it, keep it humble, but he's like, I need to switch this up because this ain't it.
I agree. I think also the yes, Kawhi's there, but like, do you want to keep doing this? Like waiting for Kawhi?
Waiting for Kawhi and years are going by. And
Yeah,
other teams, there's been a new champion every year for the past how much years? So it's your time right now to get your piece of the pie. So get your piece of the pie while you're able to, because you're not going to be in the league when you're 40.
right. The Philadelphia 76ers.
Ooh, they got the cat, they got bread to pay, and they're
Yeah,
desperate. They need Tobias maybe leaving too.
he's definitely leaving. They're not keeping
Oh,
him.
he's definitely okay, huh? I'm gonna say to I want to say 66.7%. Well,
So
67%, 67%.
I think with Philly, right? The it you fit in Philly. You fit. It's easily.
You fit, you do fit, but
But then I know like they're saying that that rumor is dead because of the whole James Harden situation with the guy. So it's like with Daryl Morey, so it could turn him off from that team. So I,
where's Paul George from, by the way? Where's home for him?
he's from LA.
He's from L. Okay.
So that's why he may stay with the Clippers. He's from there. He's gonna leave his hometown, which he just came to.
Yeah, to
He's
go
thinking
for
of
the
LA.
Lakers. I hope you say Lakers in this, but continue.
Lakers. I was gonna say Lakers. What do you think?
Oh, Lakers. LeBron, PG, can they get along? Can they play? New coach, JJ. That's a lot going on for Lakers. That's a lot for Lakers media. That's a lot of money making for the Lakers in general. I think, you know what? That's a big squad. That'd be a big squad.
It would be.
Then PG knows LeBron is showing up. AD's been showing up these days. Maybe I'm going with I'm going with 60%. I'm going with six.
So I think him going to the Lakers, at first didn't think it was a high chance, but like if he wants to stay in California, why not? Right? Why not? You're gonna be to me, that's where LeBron can really go like George, Anthony Davis, do your thing. I'm really gonna be Magic. I'm really gonna be Magic, have 15 dimes. I'll score 20 points. I'll go 20, probably go 20, 12, and I won't have to rebound the ball as much because you guys can do
Yes.
your thing.
And I
Um,
can take some sort of offensive plays off in a sense. Well, not really take it off, but I'm just
right.
standing by the 3 point line in the corner, just y'all do your thing. If I'm open, I'll shoot it, sort of thing.
This can keep me in the league for legit the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I have you
I
all.
just I just need to push the ball up. You're gonna be ahead. AD is gonna be on the floor. I still have D'Lo if he's gonna be there, but D'Lo's probably gonna get passed.
Right.
So, but continue. Okay, yeah.
Last two will be some Eastern Conference teams. Indiana.
I feel like that is I feel like that's a 7.7. I feel like that's the highest because that's what made him PG.
Yeah, there was already rumors that he was thinking of going back. If he goes back, I think they have to do a sign and trade, so the Clippers can get like a young player. But I know that the Patriots don't want to trade Nemhard unless they're getting up. They'd have to get somebody. Even though I think they would trade Nemhard for Paul George, but I'm not sure if they would want to, so to speak. And then the contracts have to match. But I why not? Why not? Once again, the Eastern Conference has Milwaukee, Boston has a few teams, but if you add them with that way they play offense, and
Yeah,
Paul George can play some defense, and
but
Pascal's a good defender, and you have some quality good defenders.
got TJ McConnell off the bench still defending, picking you up, stuff like that.
The
So
only guy who can't play defense is Tyrese Halliburton, and Tyrese was clearly hurt the last half of the season. Get the beginning
yeah,
season Tyrese Halliburton, it's not bad.
got Turner still blocking shots. So to me, he's to me at least guaranteed I'm gonna be in the second round in the East, the lowest
Right, right,
PG,
100%.
right? So he's gonna be doing better in the East on the Pacers than in the West,
Right.
right? So, but what's the last team?
The New York Knicks, and that I heard that rumor just recently. So that's
I'm
just
not
something.
gonna lie, that would be kind of hard. But can Randall, Brunson, and PG like PG is gonna be in this
No,
situation? Like,
no, they can't.
thank you.
They can't. They can't.
Like, is PG gonna
They're
be
gonna
literally
figure it
like
out.
I'm Klay Thompson right now? Like, I'm just gonna catch and shoot and play defense. Is
Yeah.
PG gonna do that?
Paul George. I mean, Jalen Brunson's too much of a ball hog right now.
Let's
He's.
not say ball hawk, ball dominant. Let's say ball dominant.
I guess you're correct, but I almost want to continue the ball hog because
Yeah,
I watch it.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I definitely agree. In the playoffs, he was passing a little bit more. I don't know because his homies were playing,
Right.
right?
But I'm thinking he didn't have anybody. If he had an OG and if he had Julius Randle, he wouldn't be acting this way. So maybe I give him that. But yeah, what percentage would you give New York one?
Man, New York is the that's a 2.3. That's a 1.5%. That's 10. That's 15%.
Man, it won't happen. You're correct. But like, imagine if it did. Exciting.
Like
That would be something.
Randall's gonna be on Twitter putting straight face. He's gonna have straight face or just this emoji on Twitter. Because Randall's gonna be cheesed in a sense. Like
I think like Stephen A. Smith wouldn't know what to do if they got Paul George. He wouldn't know what to do.
like the Knicks fans would obviously love it, like another name, like we
They'll
have an
love it.
all-star, whatever, right? But the team is gonna be like, yo, what the hell is the front office saying? Like, how is this gonna work?
Uh,
You're fucking with
if
Mike
unless they
Will.
trade, if they traded like Julius Randle, it can work. Do a sign and trade with the Clippers. So Julius Randle goes to the Clippers, then it can work.
That could work still. That could work. That could work. I feel like, yeah, that could work. But still, like, yeah, yeah.
It's different. Before we get to the talking about the draft, OG Anunoby, there's a rumor that he may not want to be with the Knicks already. And just as a quick note, I'm not sure if it was a fake report. And if it was, just ignore what I'm about to say. But there's a report that the Raptors were interested in talking again to OG Anunoby. I'm pretty sure if that were to happen,
This is a fake report, fake
it
news.
has to be a fake because like the Raptors are getting sued. They're already getting sued by New York, or they're already getting sued by New York for like what happened last season. They're already getting sued.
Wow.
it'd be bad. So I don't see that happening. Um, but yeah, OG's not liking the way that they're offering the money because he wants like 35, 40 mil. And I don't think they want to give him all that. I
Hold on.
agree.
He wants 35, 40 mil a
He
season.
wants that much. I'm not paying him that.
Fuck no. OG, like you can ball, but come on, OG.
No.
Stop this. What are they about to say? Stop this, OG. Stop this.
Like you haven't you don't play more than like 60 games. Why the hell would I would never pay you that much money.
I don't
That's
even care if you play 82 games with those averages and you're struggling to finish on one situations in transition. I'm paying you 30 million, 40 million a year. Hell no.
yeah,
Get out of here with that.
yeah, never. Okay, so now we'll end it off talking about the draft. The draft is this Wednesday and Thursday because the
The
first round is
draft.
Wednesday, the
I
second.
should be in the draft. Yeah.
So,
The amount of names.
who are the new names coming into the league? I'm just gonna go through each one and talk about their draft comparison. So we've all said this draft isn't gonna be great.
Who's getting drafted? Like, we don't know. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna say, okay.
So Atlanta's first. Atlanta's gonna go with this guy, or they're gonna trade down because they don't need. But this is where every team fails, where they're like, "Oh, I don't need this type of player because I have this player, so I don't need this type." But I always think to myself, like, don't get the best talented player. Don't worry about that.
Thank you.
Right?
Can you
Don't
say that again? Just say that one more time.
don't say no to LaMarcus Aldridge because you have Chris Bosh. Don't do that. But then
Thank
you
you.
get Andre Bargnani, which I like. I like
Thank you.
but you don't want to do the one because you have the other. Like,
Look at the Twin Towers.
yeah,
Look what they were doing. Oh, we don't want another big because we have an admiral on the team.
yeah,
I think we need to get a point guard. And what happened? Tony Parker came a couple years down the road, right?
right. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to get this because I know Atlanta doesn't want to get like Alex Sarr because they have a Kongu. They're like, oh, what's the point when we have a Kongu? But it's kind of like, you go with whoever the best player, the best prospect is. But
Exactly. You're the best player. Like
yeah, you
good
have to.
players, great players are gonna figure out how to win.
Yeah,
If you're
always,
not, then you're not a great player.
always. You always go with the best player. You never have to think about another team did that same thing. Like they didn't go with one. I think it could have been Cleveland went with like they could have went with a guard, but they went with Anthony Bennett. They could have went like Oladipo, but because they had some, I think they had Kyrie or something. They're like, oh, we don't want to get Oladipo. Well, in hindsight, you should have went for it.
You should have went for it because Liverpool could put in way more years than Bennett did.
Right.
Like
So
Bennett was the worst number one draft pick in NBA history by far. It's not even close.
you think he's worse than like Kwame Brown,
Yes,
Andy?
yes. If
Yeah,
you look at Anthony Bennett's stats, he never averaged 7 points a game in the league,
I
right?
think also
Only
because
lasted for 4 seasons, and every year he was on a different squad. That's the only player. 4 years, every year different. He's out the league.
I think it's also where he got drafted. That's one. And then like the overall, he should never been a number one overall pick. I've always
Hell no.
never. I think that's what kind of failed him being a number one overall pick. He had a lot of talent, and he's still like, but when that number one overall pick comes with so much pressure that it's hard to. It's hard. It's very hard. Okay, but here is these picks. I got it from Bleacher Report. I'm gonna probably go till the Raptors pick, which is 19. The first pick is the Atlanta Hawks. They're predicting, which they're gonna get this guy is Zachary Richard. He's a French player. I'm saying his last name incorrectly, but I know Zachary Richard. We'll say his name properly. His pro comparison is Harrison Barnes.
That's okay. That's
I think he's gonna
fundamental
be a
player.
solid player
Yeah, fundamental.
because I like Harrison Barnes because he's a solid player. But that's what he pretty much is. He'll be with Atlanta. The thing is, if he's on this team, you're also saying you want to build with Trey still. But I think you have to make a decision with Trey and DeJounte Murray, 1,000%. Alex Sarr is the one that like was just been talked about a lot, who could still be picked number one.
Yeah, yeah.
Also from France. So France is coming up. Look at this France. France is coming up.
France got players still. France got players.
They all have size. The guy's 6'8", and then this guy is the Alex Sarr is 7 foot. His pro comparison, which I can see, is Evan Mobley. But you're saying his pro comparison is Evan Mobley right now because the people thought Evan Mobley was gonna be fucking Tim Duncan at one point. Okay,
Yeah,
KD.
everyone was thinking like, "Oh, Mobley's like this nigga's."
He's
He's up next.
but I see it. I don't think Alex Sarr is gonna be. I do see he's gonna be a nice quality like Nick Claxton type of player,
That's okay.
rotation guy. Like that's how I see. A guy who I'm hearing a lot for number one is Reed Shepard.
Yeah, I
He
heard that name too.
he plays for Kentucky. They say Dante DiVincenzo. He's 6'2", so he's a little on the shorter side.
They call him he's a combo guard, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if he plays. He's an undersized two who's more limited off the dribble. Amin Thompson would be an ideal backcourt partner with his creation and his defense. Yeah, see, the guy doesn't play that great defense. So
I
we'll
think
see.
Kentucky has two guys projecting the top 10.
Yeah. We'll get to that one. He's like a highlight. But yeah, let's read Shepard for the Houston Rockets, I should say. Which they should probably go for someone like that.
Ooh,
Go for like
Houston?
yeah,
Mm,
go for like a shooter, who can help you build. The Spurs with one of their picks, which everyone thinks that they're gonna trade their fourth and eighth pick to go number one. That's possible. It's Matas Buzelis. He's 19 from the G League. He's Lithuanian, so I kind of believe in that. I remember was projected at one point to go number one. Like
mm,
but this is maybe 2-3 years ago because you know how
okay.
they have like next 4 years kind of picked out. His pro comparison, you're gonna like this one. Lamar Odom.
He's Lithuanian?
Yeah,
I'm looking out for this guy.
right. So that means he probably won't
He's
be.
utility. As long as if he can shoot and dribble, if he can shoot and dribble fair enough,
Yeah,
defend.
I
That's the
think
people
there's
keep
that.
forgetting about. Lamar Odom was one of those guys with Kobe back in the day.
And he's going to play for the Spurs. Take that in. That's what the draft thing looks
As
like.
long as he's an unselfish player, right? If he's an unselfish player, because Spurs are selfish right now,
Yeah,
right? If he's
yeah, yeah,
unselfish, him and Wemby, sky's the limit. But
yeah.
continue length too. Spurs is not gonna have a lot of length.
Very much so. Detroit Pistons number five, Donovan Clingan, who led the team to another title with UConn. He is actually a pretty good defender for
He's
like
very good defender. Very
a
good
tall
defender.
white guy. You
Yeah,
never really hear as a good defender. I'm
yeah.
glad to hear that he's a good defender.
He's mobile. He's mobile too. He's agile. He kind of reminds me when he moves like DeAndre Ayton, how he moves, like his
Mm,
agility,
I see.
which is good, right?
That's not
So,
bad to have.
but
Once again, a quality player. Like everyone on this is gonna be a quality player. That's why no one stands out with the elite talent.
yeah, Pistons need, and sometimes like Bagley is gonna need someone like, okay, there's competition for my spot, for my minutes. Like there
Right.
needs because he needs to get better somehow.
Charlotte Hornets will Stephon Castle from UConn again. 6'6" shooting guard. His pro comparison is Anthony Black. I don't like doing pro
That's
comparisons with
yeah, for
guys.
rookies.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Make any sense? I
So
swear there was a guy in the top 10 that was compared to Marbury.
probably what's his name? I forgot his name, but the probably is Rob Dillingham. But we'll get to him because he's
Okay.
coming up soon. But yeah, Castle's gonna be a good. I think he'll be probably a good
Anthony
backup
Black.
shooting guard. I think he's a defensive stopper. So the player that I kind of see his game as is like a KCP. So this
That's
is the type of guy that
good.
may be in the league for like 14 years. That's how I
That's
see
good.
it, right? So
14 years
that's
in the
that's
league, you're
success.
always a starter. You won 2 rings. That's very good.
Yeah, that's a success. But he's gonna go to the Charlotte Hornets, so I'll pray for him
Prayers up.
because that team is awful. Portland Trailblazers number six, Dalton Connect. That guy, he's 23. Oh, and they say Wally Zerbiak.
Shout out to Wally's World. Zerbeck was pure. He was a pure shooter. So
This guy's gonna be good. He'll be good. He'll come up. He'll be good from day one.
Wally was such a good off-ball player and a good system player. People do not realize how good Wally Zerbiak was.
They say he comes with a level of skill. He's polished. He's professional. He's gonna be good. Yeah, he will be.
Yeah.
He will. He's one of those guys.
Like Wally was a guy, Zerbiak, that I don't remember him ever being out of shape, missing his
Yeah,
assignments, right? Taking bad shots, forcing shots, having tunnel vision. Like he's just a good guy to have on any team.
yeah, he'll be good.
Yeah.
A sleeper who I think he's climbing up the draft board, and yeah, he's a sleeper. He may be something. His name is Devin Carter from Providence. He's 22.
Light
He's
skin dude.
a little light skin. Yeah. They compare him to Derek White.
Ooh.
Um, he's climbing up. He's climbing up. So, and he's gonna be on the Spurs.
He's gonna be on the Spurs
That's what the draft.
projection.
Yeah. And the
So
thing
the
is,
Spurs are gonna have a Lithuanian and a guy that used to be on the Spurs comparison.
yeah, yeah. That's crazy, right? Yeah, and that's what, like,
Lamar Odom, baby Lamar Odom, and a baby Derek White going
yeah,
to the Spurs with Wemby.
yeah. Yeah. If I'm the Spurs, I'm not trading the picks. I'm keeping these picks. And that's what these guys are young. They're impressionable, so you just teach them quality plays. He plays for Providence, so I know he has humbleness in him.
They're impressionable, and you're going to pop.
You're gonna
You're
pop,
going to arguably the best coach in the NBA right now,
right?
slash top five in NBA history.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, if there's coach for NBA around much more, Pop is there.
right.
It's Red Auerbach, it's Pop. You can put others in between, right? But I rate Pop the most because Phil Jackson kind of was put on those teams to win rings,
Yeah,
right?
Pop made those rings.
Pop, yes,
He
Pop
created the
literally.
offense.
So we'll continue. Shit.
Number 9, Ron Holland. Cam Whitmore is what they say. I remember him being a person that was also projected to be number 1.
What?
Yeah, Ron Holland. I remember that name, like a top 5 pick back
Yeah.
in years ago, because he was young, he's athletic, he can see he has poor shooting and suspect decision making.
Oh, I don't want to hear that. That's the ooh.
I don't like that at all. Yeah, I don't like that at all. He falls into the category of young and athletic. You know,
Yeah,
when guys are just really athletic, they can probably jump off the gym. He falls into that category.
yeah. Poor shooting, bad decision making is like you can't shoot,
Yeah.
and it's like you're taking bad shots.
It
When you turn
reminds
the
me more of
ball
like
over.
Kaminga, because Kaminga at one point was just like wasn't good at those things, right? But then it's all about organization. I was gonna say all this about organization. You go to an organization that needs you. Like Devin Booker fell into Phoenix's lap and became a star because they needed somebody.
Yeah, it's crazy
Like
because
when you
Kentucky
fall into
wasn't like
that,
that.
you can do something. But I think it's about to happen to number 10. Rob Dillingham is about to fall. If he falls into this lap, his pro comparison is Darius Garland, which out of all the guys we named, Darius Garland is an all-star player.
Yeah,
I don't think I named a lot of all-star players. Cam Whitmore's an all-star, Derek White's an all-star, Wally Zerbiak made it to one all-star, Anthony Black is not, Roy Hibbert was an all-star once. Lamar Odom, all-star what, one time maybe?
yeah. We're talking about yeah, we're talking about perennial. Let's talk about perennial. So not a 1-2 time, right?
Right. So no one else is projected to be like I'm pretty sure Garland was a 2-time, if not one-time All-Star, but he's an All-Star. He's a young player. He's only getting better, and that's what Rob Dillingham is. I'm surprised they're saying he's Darius Garland. I thought he was more of a scorer. He's the one that I think they're talking about Marbury.
The Marbury comparison.
Yeah,
I
because
see
he
it
has
on a drop wire. I don't know if it's CBS or something, but yeah, Marbury. Yeah, if you're saying Garland, yeah, Marbury. Marbury was a guy could play ball, man.
he has like he has a game on him. He has like some viral video him just going ham, like not looking at anyone to just score. He's just scoring.
Yeah, that sounds like a Marbury. Definitely sounds like a Marbury. That's not a Garland. Marbury was definitely tunnel vision at times, but
Chicago, they're saying they may pick Nikola Topic. That
I
guy,
heard that
he's
guy's
gonna
name.
drop.
Where's he from though again? He's from where Thing is from,
Serbia.
Joker?
Yeah, so you yeah, Joker. No, Luca.
Where's Luca from? Lithuania, Serbia?
He's from Serbia.
Okay, okay. So yeah. So out in Eastern Europe.
This is in Goran Dragic, which is not bad. The
That's pretty
problem is
legit.
he tore his ACL.
That's why he's hungry. He's hungry to
No, but
return.
you tore it recently, so he's gonna drop. He'll drop. He'll
He's a
drop.
lefty?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Anyone named Nikola, they have greatness in them, fam.
He'll drop. Number 12 is Tajan Saloon. His draft comparison is Obi Toppin. He's also French.
It's not French guys, no?
Oh,
Obi
he's
Toppin.
coming from 6'9". That means yo, this team big guys. And this is OKC, which means we're basically gonna stash you and bring you when we want you, when we need you.
Yeah. 6'9" Obi Toppin, so he's probably jumping out the gym, athletic, has a decent shot, can defend.
Right. Number 13, Sacramento Kings, Cody Williams. The draft comparison is Jaden McDaniels, which is not a bad draft comparison.
Jaden McDaniels, hold on, Wolves?
Yeah,
You got a long guy that can defend?
yeah. And he's the brother of Jalen Williams from OKC.
Wow. So you're definitely going to be balling.
Right. So like a lot of people, he was projected number one at one point as well. Again, like the first week of their college season, they're like, he's going to be number one because of his ability to do a bunch of things, but then he ended up falling off. I hope he keeps falling. I hope he falls all the way to 19.
Yep.
Kayshawn George for the Portland Trailblazers. I hear a lot of good things. I don't like his pro comparison at all.
Ooh.
Delano Banton. Don't like it. And
Ugh.
I wish you could see the guy's face. He's just light skinned with braids, like Delano Banton.
They're just comparing how their looks, huh? That's it.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. Jared McCann, who was with Duke, they say he's Emmanuel quickly.
Did you say Jared McCant?
Jared McCann.
Okay, Duke. Okay. Quickly.
Number 15. He's a player that most likely will like my assumption he's always gonna be he'll be a 10 to 15 year vet. He will be. He'll be on squads. He may not be a starter, maybe a backup, but he'll be of quality. Emmanuel quickly is a I'm surprised at that comparison. I don't really see him score like that in college, but maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Number 16, Isaiah Kohler, Tyreek Evans. Isaiah Kohler,
Mm,
I'm surprised you haven't heard of him. He was definitely projected number one.
I heard the Culver name before.
Yeah,
What school is he from, you said?
USC.
USC?
Yeah, so he played with
Okay.
Bronny. And like they were talking about him as a number one overall pick before. Let me see. But he's not as tall as people thought. He's 6'2" with socks. But he was a guy people were definitely talking about back in the day. Tyreek Evans, yeah. So number 17, just so I can go past that. Brooke Lopez, comp for his name is Khalil Ware. That's not bad. Brooke Lopez comp. I'm thinking, is this Brooke Lopez Nets Brooke Lopez or Milwaukee Bucks? Because there's two different Brooke Lopez's.
I'm not mad if it's the Milwaukee Brooke Lopez still.
I'm not mad if it's Brooklyn Lopez.
Yeah, they're both decent still. They're both decent.
Brooklyn, Brooke Lopez is the number one scorer in Brooklyn history of all time. So I'm okay with that one too. If you send me,
You're for real, huh? You're for real.
yeah, he's number one. So I want that guy too. I thought Brooke Lopez was like another carnation of Tim Duncan because he was smooth. He had a smooth shot.
Timmy is a different beast, but Brooke was doing this thing.
You know, I mentioned KCP so much. The number 18 comp is KCP. His name is Jacoby Walter. If you have a KCP comp, I like you. I like KCP. That means you're going to be in the league for a long time.
Yeah, 14, 15.
So now we'll go to the Raptors pick, and that's the last one we talk about. It is it's Zach Edey.
What?
Yeah, the Canadian.
No, you're serious, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. And his pro comparison is incredibly wrong. They're saying he's JV. I've seen him play. He's not JV.
Holy JV. What would you put his pro comparison then? I'm trying to think.
I think he's so unique still, but I know he's growing, but he's not there yet, like from what I see. And I see it in college, he's like dominant, but JV has like post moves. Like when you pass the JV on the post, like you're like
JV
he's
definitely has post moves.
So I don't know. Zach Edey doesn't have that. I don't. He's a big guy. I don't know where Zach Edey really falls, but I don't think he falls there. I don't.
Hey, shoot, I don't know who was kind of slow, kind of. Big Country had moves. Big Country had some moves.
Like he's
Can I,
so
who can we compare him to? Like, who's a big center with no moves? Like Rick Smith's had moves on the Pacers. He had some moves.
I'm trying to
So
think
what about Greg Ostertag?
yeah, I guess like someone like that,
Like a you Greg Ostertag,
like a
how about
big
Matt
guy.
Geiger? Matt Geiger. How about Matt Geiger?
Like, I'm thinking like a big guy who doesn't have a lot of moves, but you can't really score over him because he's tall.
Yeah, Matt Geiger.
Yeah, and like he's like a less skilled version of Yao Ming to me because Yao
Okay,
Ming can
like
shoot threes.
yeah, because yeah. Who's like
So I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. But that's the draft. That's who's coming out. That's the future. We don't know who's gonna be the star. Any of these guys can pop out and be a star. Some of the players I like the guy from Tennessee, Colorado, and Cody Williams. I like the thought that there's no superstar comparisons. There's no future Blake Griffin or Zach Randolph type. There's none of those guys. There's all a bunch of like quality guys that could you want your team to have to build into the future. But anything else you want to talk about in this pod? We've gone a little longer today.
I'm just looking forward to next year's draft.
I am. I am. That's gonna be
Shout out
fun.
to Cooper Flag.
It should be a fun draft. Most likely, Bronny James is gonna get drafted. Who knows by who? They say a bunch of teams like him, so whatever that means. And before I go, I want to take a real serious note and talk about the Edmonton Oilers. We're down 3-0. Tomorrow's game, or tonight, whenever you're watching this, there's 3-3 tie. It's game 7. Of course, we're from Toronto, and we should, but when a Canadian team is down 3-0 and come back on in the Stanley Cup finals, you have Connor freaking McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, um, uh, Nurse. You have a bunch of guys on that squad. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada.
All heart, baby. All
I
heart.
hope Edmonton wins, baby. I hope Edmonton wins. Let's go. Let's honestly go. But for the DM podcast, that is your boy YS. I'm your boy Mike. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go, Oilers. We'll talk again. Peace.